at Family and Domestic Violence Advocacy Network here today.
Thank you for having me, and thank you everyone for coming.
Thank you. So it's a very interesting program that you've been talking to us about that we'd like to learn a little bit more about, which is called the Joyful Catepillar. Now it actually comes under a bigger umbrella. Can you tell us a little bit about your overall vision and this bigger umbrella that Joyful Catepillar is part of?
Okay, so the Joyful Catepillar was first birthed as a program for children who are experiencing trauma and are not really doing well in the school system. So children with disabilities or children from other cultures that aren't really blending in as expected. So I really want to help children who are stuck in that system and that cycle of getting suspended and not actually really dealing with what's going on. And they're losing that drive and that thirst of knowledge, and I really want to bring them back into enjoying education. And that then, from there, from talking to other people, I set up and established a charity called Creative Oaks Children's Education Incorporated. That was set up as an umbrella to help other people who aren't really able to do all the paperwork, who aren't interested in the legislation, who just want to do something that's for kids and that's education related, that's along the same line of what we're talking about with children who've experienced trauma, children who are from other cultures, and children with disabilities. So we really want to help them to just embrace life and learn, and just to ignite that spark within them that's missing because of what they're experiencing in their world.
It sounds interesting. So first of all, I'm going to focus on your logo. I love the Joyful Catepillar logo. One of the things for me as a child is I loved the book, The Hungry Caterpillar. So is there a little bit of a play on words here and images about hungry for education, hungry for more information in the Joyful Catepillar?
It could possibly be, but I do hear that often, the hungry caterpillar. It actually comes from my personal development business, The Immortal Butterfly. And so my focus was The Immortal Butterfly, but I really wanted to do something for kids that was free. And that was where I ended up going to what comes before the butterfly. And we have a caterpillar. Yes. And children are joyful inside them. They really just want to be joyful. And when they're experiencing events in their life that are hiding that or causing that to not come out. And so it's about bringing out the joy in children, the joy of life, joy of education, joy of experiencing.
And joy of just being children.
Yeah.
How many that have experienced trauma have to become the adult of the family? It's really sad. So it's great to hear what you're doing. So tell me a little bit about, what's your background? Why have you gone into this? Have you worked in a school before, or education? You know, what sort of has brought you to this point?
Oh, I've completed a Bachelor in Behavioural Studies, and I've worked as a student support officer. And working in the school as a student support officer, I saw elements that weren't working for children who've experienced trauma and who have disabilities. And the bigger picture for the Joyful Catepillar is to have something that's there 9 till 7 during the day, so children who have been suspended can actually come to us and do some learning. But that's a goal that's further down the track when finances enable that to happen. And
so you worked in a primary or a high school?
Primary school,
primary school.
Primary school. I really, so I say really a lot. Sorry. Can you ask me that question again?
You're a mother, that's why. We just say to our children, really? No, there's always great things coming out from, what the children in their creativity and, and exploration and,
So I want to get to the children before they get to the teenagers, because once they're teenagers, it's a lot harder to mould them, a lot harder to lead them. So I hear there are organisations doing great things with teenagers, but I want to take a step backwards and to really to get to the children at that younger age where we can help guide them from things that they shouldn't be dealing with at their age.
So your vision, if say I'm a child and, or I have a child that, that's been expelled or suspended, whatever, maybe grade 3. What might the program look for me as a parent? One, how would I find out about it? And 2, walk me through what in reality it would actually look like.
Oh, in the future, in
Yeah, your
the
goal.
program when
Yeah,
we
your
actually
vision.
we have a site that's there all day. So we have bookings will be available. We're in touch with all the schools. We've let the schools know what we're doing. They know that what we're doing now in that smaller part where we just have a small space and a allocated time slot. But eventually, when we have our own space, a building where we can be there all day or 5 days a week, so parents can book in their child. Schools are aware that we're there. We work with the schools, we work with the parents, and work with the child on a level that brings them comfort and joy, and to help to give them a chance to voice their own needs, because often it's about what the school needs, it's about what the parent needs, and we really want to focus on what is it that the child needs. What do they need to move forward, to learn, to be able to focus on what they're being expected to focus on.
That's brilliant. Now I'm told that something exciting happened recently, and we're going to be seeing it in the paper soon. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your passion for the broader aspect and why it's children that have experienced trauma, and if you're comfortable in doing that?
Okay, so having lived in a shelter myself when I was pregnant with my second child, I wanted to do something that would help women leaving domestic violence, women with children, because that's the general demographic that we have. When women are leaving domestic violence, they're the ones who are looking after the children, generally. And so I went off and I studied a Bachelor in Behavioural Studies. I completed that with the intention always to put that into action to help women from domestic violence. I have started to implement setting up a supported accommodation for women in my home, and I have a tenant. Excitingly, I was interviewed by Lauren Novak from The Advertiser, and that will be in the paper tomorrow.
Excellent.
Exciting.
And that the focus of her feature will be?
It's on homelessness.
It's on homelessness?
Yes.
Yeah. It'll be, really interesting. So keep an eye out for that. Or if you see this after it's been published, you can always go to the Advertiser building in Weymouth Street and purchase back copies, or go to a library and pick it up there. So, but yeah, no, that's very exciting. So getting back to the Joyful Catepillar, what are some of the things that you need in preparation for that? How far has this journey come? Where are you at the moment with setting up the charity? And when are you planning for it to be launched? And what needs to happen? What are some of the resources that you might need before that time?
Okay, so we're currently looking at fundraising, grant writing to get funds. There is a grant in particular that we can get as a new organisation in Salisbury. Our focus is actually Salisbury at the moment. I see in the future that I want to actually have a location in Playford. I also see one in Christie's Beach, and I'm pretty sure there'll be other locations, but they're my first 3. And so I've done all the background paperwork, I've done all the setting up, the policies, the procedures. Now I'm looking at some volunteers to come in, step up, say, yes, I'm committed, I want to help with this. I want to either offer admin services or supervisory role in the schools, or organisations, businesses who are interested in coming in and educating the children. We have multiple areas that we're interested in having the children educated, and we want them educated from people in the community as well. So we're looking at arts and crafts, relationships, science, budgeting, mathematics, so basic things that can help them step forward in their life. we're also looking at general things like a club that's doing something unique or different can come along and show children just what is out there and what's in their community, and what maybe it'll be so interesting to them that it will spark that joy that they're missing.
And I hear that you've already got some of Salisbury Council members and a venue in Salisbury that are starting to support this whole process.
Yes, I've spent a lot of time talking about the program. Salisbury's Neighbourhood Centre has offered us a space. They're offering sponsorship for that on a Monday afternoon. But just getting things locked in and knowing that, we've got educators locked in, we've got kids coming. I really don't want to actually start until we're ready to move forward. So looking for children attendance. So we will be this term attending schools. We'll be standing outside schools and letting people know that we're there, that we'll be starting up as soon as we are keeping it at a maximum of 10 children per session. The 5 to 8-year-olds is one session and 9 to 14-year-olds is the other session.
And so if they wanted to find out more, your contact details and your website, maybe you'd like to, can put that on the video, but maybe you could like to say it at this point.
Yes, so the website is www.joyfulcaterpillar.org. On there is a subscribe button or contact details. Phone numbers on there as well, so I don't mind if you give me a call. That's probably the easiest way, but you can find us on Facebook.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate your time here today, and all the best for the future, and keep us posted.
Thank you
very
Lorelle.
much.